Welcome back, everybody. What's going on? We have missed you just as much as you missed us, of course. But it is, just a Monday, your typical home run derby Monday. Unfortunately, we got no Tiger action in the home run derby. But in case you baseballers out there are curious, Pete Alonso is going for the first ever home run derby three-peat in home run derby history. So kind of interesting. But Nick, what is going on, my man? We haven't talked in quite some time. So anything new?
We haven't talked in a while. No, nothing new. Softball every day, getting ready
How's
for
it
the
going?
week.
I feel like you're in 5 softball leagues, or you just have one that's everlasting.
I'm in four softball leagues.
Oh my
So
goodness,
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays every
that's
week.
awesome.
It is a lot of fun. But to speak on what you were just talking about, the home run derby, they asked Albert Pujols to join as a nod to his career, and they asked Miguel Cabrera to be an all-star as a nod to his career, but they didn't ask Miguel to go in the home run derby. So my question to you guys is: A, are we upset that Miguel Cabrera didn't get the same treatment that Pujols did, or is it because Pujols is retiring? There's a different kind of thing. But I mean, Miggy hit 3,000. And B, if Miggy wasn't a home run derby, do you think he had any chance at winning it?
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm gonna go out and say that. Miggy's only got I think 3, maybe 4 home runs if he hit one the last week. But I love the guy. He's probably one of the best Tigers of all time. But he's a 260-pound Ichiro Suzuki. That's what I saw that tweet the other day, and he's just a guy that gets his singles, his doubles, get the RBIs, and he's not so much that big home run hitter. But can he do it? Of course. So, would I've loved to see Biggie in the home run derby? Yes, but it would have been an interesting sight to see. But
Pujols just has more home runs than Miggy in his career too.
Yeah.
As well.
But he also
just
didn't play
known.
in Comerica. He also didn't play in
true.
Comerica.
It's true. I just think that Pujols is just more known as the power hitter, even though Miggy is too. It's just Pujols just got a tab, maybe a tab on him in the home run department.
I truly think it's because of the field they play at. You put Miggy in St. Louis the same amount as Pujols was, and in LA rather than freaking Comerica. I don't know. But I get what you guys are saying. I just felt like Miggy was shafted a little bit in this home run derby. Is Alonso going to win it though, boys? Did we all put our money on Alonso for a three-peat?
I got the kid from Seattle, Julio Rodriguez. Julian Rodriguez.
He does have the best odds since 2001, Barry Bonds. So that's
in my opinion, there's no way for a three-peat. There's got to be someone who steps up. However, it's also 9:24. This has been going on for an hour and a half. I haven't even watched it. Is he are we talking nonsense? Is he even still in it? Do we know? Alonso was eliminated in round 1.
That would be funny on the Lions podcast. But don't worry, Lions fans. Don't log off right now. We're talking Lions news, Lions, whatever. I don't know. Lions football. That's what we're doing. And we got a little 25 question poll we'll be discussing. Also have some results to that voted on by you guys. We got over 300 average votes per poll, so a good amount of people voted on this. So without further ado, let's hop into some news, and then we will get this ball rolling, because today Madden decided to release some rankings, and the Lions were kind of in the news. And the focal point was Sir Jameson Williams having a 98 speed, second best in Madden, only to Tyreek Hill, which that is better than I expected. Thank you, Madden. I appreciate them giving us the respect. But another thing, they ranked Jameson Williams a 78 overall, along with Amon-Ra St. Brown, which very odd. We saw what Amon-Ra can do last year. Jameson still hasn't played a game, so take that for what you will. Maybe they think they're the exact same. Maybe they think they're both super good. I don't know. But nonetheless, both rated 78, along with DJ Chark, 78. So we got a group of 78. So, Nick, when's the last time you played some Madden?
Oh, man, you're going to out me like that, bro. It's been a minute. Now, I will say that it's like riding a bike, and anytime I go and jump in, I'm always right there, ready to dominate anyone. I'll tell you what, the last time I bought a Madden was probably like Madden 2016, 17.
Okay.
Once my daughter was born, I kind of stopped playing it. Had an Xbox 360 for a while, and then just stopped gaming. However, I got a Switch now, so I'm hoping that Madden gets into Nintendo Switch at some point, and I get back into playing it, because I'll probably never play one. I love the Madden ratings, though. And you got to love Jamal Williams getting up there in that speed. That was nice. I feel like they undercut Amon-Ra St. Brown a little bit, though. Am I the only one on that?
No, I agree with you guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown should have at least been at 80. But this is part of Madden. They have to do this to the Lions. Giving Jameson Williams a 78 overall and a 98 speed, that alone is that we got to bump. I give Madden props on that. Okay, because usually, like last season, we got a group of 78s this season. Last season, Madden started us off with like Tyrell Williams, who's at 80. I think they had him at 80. And then after that, our next best guy, I think, was Perriman, who's like a 74. And then we had a bunch of 60s. So obviously, they see that we have an improved wide receiver core, just like the rest of the world. So shout out to Madden for giving Jameson Williams a 78 overall and a 98 speed. That's going to help me win a lot of games with the Lions. But Amon-Ra St. Brown I'm going to edit him into an 83 like he's supposed to be.
Absolutely. And Julius, I like what you said on the tweet earlier today. Say by week 8, Madden's going to realize that they got to bump up Japes in that one speed. Give him that 99,
Might as well.
If they're going to put him at a 98, he's basically
right.
99. Let's be real. So, Madden rankings were better than last year. I'll say that. Last year was just pitiful, and they just pooped on their team. So this year, at least, teeny tiny respect for a couple guys. But in some real life news, Jeff Okuda, boy, oh boy, he is looking phenomenal. He was doing like jumps with a 45-pound dung ball in his hands, and it shows how, just good his knees, ankles, feet, Achilles, everything is just, knock on wood, good right now. So if Okuda, if he comes in firing, boys, this will be such a nice treat for us. Nick, did you see this video by any chance?
Oh, yes, I have. And I have been watching all of them Okuda videos that have been surfacing all spring and summer long. And it literally it's so exciting. I get almost goosebumps. Like I don't know how. It's that time of the year where the Kool-Aid is flowing heavy, where I am just picturing the best case scenario for every player. And for Jeff Okuda, best case scenario is a big, big, big step. And he just hasn't had the opportunity. Year one is almost a wash because he was in the most pitiful defense in NFL history. Year two, injury happens right up front. That happens. Keenan Allen had injuries, I believe, the first 3 years of his career. Played, I believe, like a total of 15 or 16 games first 3 years of his career, if I'm correct. He's all right now. He's pretty good. And I'm not saying, but Jeff Okuda, there is still time. This is a big impact year, but those videos get me so excited, guys. Like, I don't know. I'm him opposite with Amani, who had 6 picks last year, with Jacobs, who's a fan favorite, AJ Parker, Iffy, who we drafted. Our cornerback position is deep. I like it.
Oh, yes, sir, it is. And then real quick, Julius, Okuda, I love that he's posted all these videos too. It just shows that his confidence is going up. And, obviously no one's in his comments or DMs or anything, bashing him, saying, anything negative. So it's only positive for him right now. So as long as he can just stay on this track, then he will be fine. And then not to mention, last year we saw not just 1, not just 2, but 3 running backs come from Achilles injuries. And that was Cam Akers, Donta Foreman, and Marlon Mack. I think they all played a few, games here and there, not all complete throughout the season, but nonetheless, they got back on the field. And if you can get back to a running back position, tearing your Achilles, then I think you could certainly do it as a cornerback. So, Julius, you get a chance to watch any of these Jeff Okuda, just hype videos he's got going on?
No, I didn't, but I have been keeping track through like reading articles and reading reports because they've been keeping tabs on him. I did skim a few videos, but big time Jeff Okuda. I'm not even thinking about Jeff Okuda right now. I'm not even thinking about him because I just want to be surprised. Okay, I just want to be surprised. I don't want to, I don't know. I don't want to be disappointed when Jeff Okuda has a 30 PFF rating by week 4, and he's starting to get knocked down the depth chart by Aubrey Pleasant. I don't want to be
Julius, were you the guy when your parents left your like Christmas presents in the closet, right? And you knew where they were, right? You knew where they were. Did you go and peek at them? Were you like, I want to be surprised, man. I want to be surprised. What were you?
If I had the opportunity to peek at him, I would. But...
You see, I mean, you got to peek at this Jeff Okuda, man. I'm telling you, this present is going to be nice when we unwrap it.
I'm scared. I'm scared because if Jeff Okuda is a lockdown corner, our defense might be good.
I've been doing the same philosophy when it comes to Marvel movies. I haven't been watching any of the trailers. I say, give me the full surprise. I don't want to see any trailers before that movie. Full surprise going in. So I can dig that.
If Jeff Okuda is good, the Lions will be good. He's that much of an X factor, I believe. His success. Like, out of all players on the roster, out of everybody.
I think that might be a little bit of oversimplification. Like, I mean, if Okuda is injured all year and Jerry Jacobs an iffy step up, I think the Lions can still be pretty good. You know what I mean?
That's true. I agree with that. But I just firmly believe that Jeff
I think if the Lions are going to be great and surprise everyone and go from worst to first, Okuda is going to be one of the top 3 impactful players. It has to be.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Okuda's looking good. And also, I guess TJ Hockenson making news waves. It's looking like he's maybe getting a contract extension, nothing final, but there was, some rumors that he was in talks with the Lions. So, boys, what is Hockenson? Let me ask you this, Nick. What's the bare minimum that TJ Hockenson has to do for you to want to bring him back? And the bare minimum could be something, something good. It doesn't have to be, 500 for 6 touchdowns again.
I want health. I want 17 games out of him. I don't care if he catches 310 yards and 3 touchdowns, to be all honest. And I hope if that was the case, it's because Goff is, utilizing Shark, Jameson, Amon-Ra, even Khalif if he makes the team, or whoever is at wide receiver, DeAndre Swift, all that. I'm okay if that ends up being the case, right? Hockenson becomes more of a blocker, kind of like Kittle last year. San Francisco still made this big run, but Kittle was not there in many, many games. And statistic-wise, he was more of a blocker. And Kyle Shanahan saw that it was going to be better to just push and funnel the ball into Debo's hands and win that way and with our run game. And if that happens for Hockenson, I'm okay with that. So health is the number one thing, in my opinion. I want to see 17 games out of Hockenson. If I see that, he's got the full go. Keep coming back. I like to build him. I don't need us going to draft another one in the 1st or 2nd or 3rd round and develop him. And we just went and got the guy, I can never remember the tight end's name that I can never remember, Jelani Woods. That might be crazy wrong. I don't remember.
That's crazy wrong. He plays for the Rams.
Okay.
We got Garrett Griffin. I don't know.
Who's the guy we drafted?
Oh, yes. Jordan Mitchell, James Mitchell.
James Mitchell. Thank you. There we go. That's who I'm thinking of. Anyways, I don't want those. I like Hockenson. Keep him here. Statistics don't bother me as long as we're winning games and he is healthy.
Fair point. I like it. And if he does play 17 games, there's just no way that he has a bad season again. We've seen Hockenson. He'll have some, poor performances, but he'll have great performances. So, yeah. Julius, I see same question. What's the bare minimum that you got to see Hockenson do to, want to bring him back next year?
I think this is a 2-part question for me. First part is I need Hockenson to have a Pro Bowl season. Based on his draft status. It's great to have him on the field all the time, like Nick say, but I need production from a top 10 NFL pick tight end. Second part of my answer, I need James Mitchell not to be an all-pro tight end, Pro Bowl tight end or a future Pro Bowl tight end, because if he is, that makes TJ Hockenson expendable immediately. So I need TJ Hawkinson to be a bona fide franchise tight end for us this season for me to be comfortable giving him a big time contract in the next offseason.
I like it. And for me, I just want to see a just all around top 5 performance, whether if it's these, top 5 in yards and receptions and touchdowns, but just the majority of his stats. I want to see him in that top 5. Yes, top 7s, whatever. But I'd like to see Hawkinson establish himself as a true top 5 tight end in the NFL. And it's not saying much because there aren't a whole lot of elite tight ends, but you still have, Andrews, Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, and Pitts. If he could enter that group, then bada bing, bada boom, we got our guy. Other than Hawkinson, that's all we really have in the news. So, boys, you ready to do this little 25 question over-under breakdown?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's run it. Also, I'll be keeping these. We're going to be keeping tabs. And at the end of the year, we're going to go through. Loser has to do something to be discussed. But don't be the loser. It's going to be these plus our schedule breakdown that I still have back here. So we're going to have some
Julius
fun.
put the Kool-Aid down.
Julius over on everything. Which, honestly, the fans did vote over on.
Like, oh wait, there was one under.
Was there one under?
Yeah. Actually, there's 3 unders, 4 unders, 5 unders.
Okay, so there's a few.
Okay, so yeah, all right, not bad. All right, so
shout out who the fans voted for, Adam, because I don't have it in front of me.
I got him, yeah. So start off, these are all over unders. Jared Goff, 3,800 passing yards. First, Nick, let's hear what you got to say, and then give me a percentage. Let's take a little step farther on what you think the people voted.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna guess the people voted 61% over. So that's right. That. I wanted to pull this up. Jared Goff, real quick, at 3,800. I was a little ill-prepared for this episode, and now it's showing, and now it's not even working for me. Great, good. I think he's only hit like 38, or I think he's only gone under 3,800. Not a lot. Damn it, I wish I had these stats in front of me. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. All right, here we go. He has only hit 38, or gotten less than 3,800 one time in his career. And it was last year when he hit 3,200. So the question is he going to get 600 more yards than he did last year? I would like to think the addition of Jameson and DJ Shark would give him that. However, are we going to pass the ball as much as Sean McVay ever did with the Rams? I don't think so. I'm taking the under, just under, but I am taking the under.
Boo. And yes, I'm going to have my own sound effects for everything we vote on. Julius, give me some good news.
I have the over on this because as far as right now stands, our offense is going to be better. Okay. And if our offense is going to be better, Jared Goff's stats are going to be better. I think he stays healthy enough. He's not really injury-prone quarterback per se that make you worry about him not playing enough to do it. It just depends on his own performance through the air. And honestly, outside DeAndre Swift, 16 to 1,800 yard rushing season or something, I think Jared Goff is going to have plenty of yards to throw for. It should be a lot. It should be a lot. So I'm going over.
All right, I like it. Gosh, I'm going to go under. I think Swift breaks out this year, and I just think he has a good run game. And also, if, Jameson doesn't play for the first 6 weeks, I think that will definitely hurt. If we got, the nod that, Jameson was starting week 1, then it'll probably lean closer to the over. But as of now, got to go under. And the final votes were 57.4% over, 42.6% under. So, Nick, not a bad guess.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to Jared Goff, over or under 25.5 passing touchdowns. Julius, you take this one away. And give me what percentage you think the people voted.
This 25 total passing touchdowns, right?
25.5, yes, passing touchdowns.
I have this as under for myself because I feel differently about passing yards and passing touchdowns. Now, it's possible. I can definitely. Do you know his career high in touchdowns by chance? Either
I
of you?
got it right here. Career high is 32.
32. Okay, and that was with the crazy Rams season when they went to the Super Bowl, I think.
2018 Rams. Yep.
So I'm gonna say under because it's Jared Goff. Simply put.
Easy enough.
I like it. What do you think our blue Kool-Aid Lions drinkers fans voted?
I would say 50-50.
50-50. All right. Wrong. They voted over 58%, to over 25.5 passing touchdowns. So we have some optimistic fans here. Nick, are you one of them?
No, I am under. For the last 3 years, Jared Goff has thrown for 22 touchdowns, then 20 touchdowns, then last year 19 touchdowns. Without Sean McVay's prolific high-flying offense, he is not a 25 touchdown thrower. And this is 25.5, I believe, so he's got to get 26 or more. Even 25 won't get the job done. He's not even going to get hit 25. I'm taking the under.
Boys, do I have news for you. Jared Goff is getting 26 right on the dot. Last year, he honestly didn't do a whole lot until like week. Oh, actually, I take that back. He started off 5 touchdowns first 2 games. But he did miss a few games. So if you toss in the 3 games he missed, he throws 2 touchdowns. In 2 of the games, the 3 touchdowns have won. Boom, that's 26. Add in Jamal Williams. You give Swift a full season. If we stay healthy, I think he's got a good shot to squeak in at 26. I'm gonna lock it in. Over.
Locked in.
Moving on. DeAndre Swift, my man that I was just talking about. I'm sure you guys know what I'm going to say. DeAndre Swift, over or under 1,000 yards on the dot, and I'm going over. I think this is the year, just mentioned this, that Swift breaks out. I think he goes for 1,000 yards, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to attack a 1,000 season. I don't think he hits it, but he could be sniffing at it. And if he does do some sort of, 800, like Eckler did last year, I won't be mad. But Swift, I think he's going to hit that 1,000-yard rush mark. If he just, plays 14 games, I think that should do it. Maybe even 13, because he looks so phenomenal running the ball every time he gets it. And I think he's going to do it this year. Not to mention we got our offensive line, healthy from the get-go, unlike last year when it was Decker, then Ragnow, then, Sewell, and it was just all a mixture. So, Julius, let's head it back to you. You think Swift tops 1,000 yards? I
do. And if you see this bet, make it over 1,000 yards, because this is Swift's year. This is Swift's year. Health, all health, of course, every player health pending, but everything is set up. They're going to give DeAndre Swift the ball. The way they're talking, Deuce Staley and even Dan Campbell, they keep talking about Swift. They keep talking about him because they know. They know what we all know. With our offensive line, with DeAndre Swift, we can have a great running game. They had a great running game last year. I mean, not great. It was good. Average sometimes, excellent at other times.
We had Greg Reynolds rush for 100 yards. No one knew who this guy was. And he comes out and rushes for 100 yards in his second game.
Over. I got over on DeAndre Swift, 1,000 yards. And if you really drinking the Kool-Aid, go over 1,500. Just kidding. I'm just
kidding. That would be some Barry stuff. That would be cool. Nick, anywhere near 1,500?
No. Real quick, guys, take a guess. How many guys ran for 1,000 yards last year?
7.
I think it was a good chunk.
What'd you say, Julius?
7.
I'm going to say 11.
7 on the dot.
Oh, it was 7 on the dot.
And it's Jonathan Taylor with 1,800. Then Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Delvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, Ezekiel Elliott. There's a dang good chance that DeAndre Swift can be that Antonio Gibson or Ezekiel Elliott, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah.
13 games each of his first 2 years. Right? 600 yards is the most he's ever rushed in his career. Or wait, Yeah, 617 last year. This is like the year. This is the year it's going to be so close. If I had to bet, and I'm like trying to, I'm going to take the under here, and a lot of it might be because both you guys took the over. I'm going to take the under on 1,000. I don't think you're going to do it. 8. I think what Adam said, 8, like what Austin did last year, 8 and 8. That's going to be what it is.
Well, how about 850.5? Because that's what FanDuel has right now for DeAndre Swift's rush yard prop.
That is, I would still take the under. I'm saying 800 and 800. 800 and 800, boys. That's what it's going to be.
Just screaming on the inside that he lives in Texas and can't place a bet right now.
800, 800. I like that, Nick. I like that. It's very logical. It's logical because he's a dual threat running back. You know, he's going to catch as many balls as he runs.
Yep.
So
Yep.
800, 800. I'll take that too. I'll take it.
I would absolutely take that. That's a good year right there. But I'll say that. What did the fans say? They said over, right?
Of course they said over. They hammered it. I think that was the best one. Yeah, so far it's 59%. We had 9.3, which is the most so far.
Swift.
Top.
Them yet.
So now here's the interesting one. DeAndre Swift, total touchdowns 10.5. So this isn't just rushing. This could be receiving or rushing or no. Receiving or rushing, unless counting a passing touchdown, which would be cool.
Or return. I would count a return as a total touchdown or defensive interception if for some reason Swift is playing corner. You know, I'll count all that.
A little scoop and score action. You know, when Goff's baby hands drop the ball, Swift just scoops around the side. I like it. Like anything can happen. Nick, what are you thinking here? Can Swift hit the mark of 10.5 total touchdowns?
I'm thinking that I'm a terrible fan right now because all I see is
no.
I can't go under 4 in a row, can I?
No, you can't.
He's got 17 touchdowns in 2 years. 10 last year, I think, right? Anyone? We got his stats last year. Yeah. 10 in 2020, 7 last year. For him to hit 11 touchdowns is nuclear, in my opinion. He's in that 2020 year, he had a game with 3 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure. That's why I think he had 10 total touchdowns. Realistically, I got to take the under on 10.5 total touchdowns. Under.
Your disappointment, Nick. This is sad.
Kick me off right now.
Julius, eject some blue Kool-Aid into this podcast.
My man's is going to go over 10, and if you're a betting man, he's going to go over 15.
Dog.
Because he will be targeted and he will get carries. I am so confident. The most confident thing about this Lions offense to me, outside of the healthy offensive line is going to play well, is DeAndre Swift value. They are going to feed him the ball, and I believe that he will. I got him at 12 right now, like 6 and 6. You know what I'm saying? That's about what I got him at.
I like it. Hold on. Wow. This is a nice little juicy stat I got here. I guess how many games DeAndre Swift didn't score a touchdown in that he played in. So he only played in 8, 10 games over like 55%. So out of those 10 games, how many think he didn't score a touchdown in?
Just because you're trying to bring this stat up, I'm going to be like 2.
It is 2. Good guess, Nick. So yes, Swift had a touchdown in every game he played, and except for 2. And the 2 were, one, it was just a terrible game against Seattle, which he only had 4 attempts and 2 receptions. So week 17 as well, so didn't really play. And then the other one was against week 2, the Packers, in which they just kind of shut him down. 37 yards on the ground. They had 41 on receiving. So all in all, Swift, he's a playmaker. I've been talking him up this whole podcast. Got a signed ball of his in my bedroom. We gave away a Swift jersey. We're big Swift fans here, except for Nick, I guess. But nonetheless, I'm right there with you, Julius. I think he smashes this. I think Swift just breaks out once again, man. This is going to be his year. I think also fantasy players too. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger. It's going to be hard for you Detroit fans and players because you're likely playing with some of the other Detroit fans and players. So not players, but you know what I mean. But Swift, I think he is one of the more elite premier running backs in the NFL right now. And granted, the Lions don't have the best offense. We have one of the best offensive lines. So as long as, Ragnow, Decker, and Big Sewell can stay healthy, then those boys will be clearing holes that semis could just get through. So Swift, I think he easily takes the cake on this. And our fans thought so as well. Coming in at a whopping 68% on the over of 10.5 total touchdowns. I think he could go like a 7.5, something like that, 7 rushing, 5 receiving. But Swift, I think he's hitting the over. So let's talk a little about the man behind Swift, Jamal Williams. This one's interesting. 500 rush yards. Do you guys think, Julius, do you think Jamal is going to, see the field enough for 500 yards? Or do you think, this is going to have to be some sort of Swift injury baked into this?
It's going to have to be a Swift injury baked into this for me to go confidently over, because I just don't see him hitting 600. I can see him hitting 400, just not 6. So I'm going under.
I agree. Nick, Jamal Williams, 500 yards.
500. 500. He's hit 500 3 of his 5 years in the NFL, including last year with Detroit. It's weird. Pro Football Reference says Jamal Williams had 11 starts last year and DeAndre Swift had 4. It's kind of interesting, right?
The Lions are weird with who they start. Dan Campbell.
Anyways, I don't know.
Nick is trying to talk us back our DeAndre Swift overs right now.
Jamal Williams is going to get 500 rushing yards this year, though I don't think he should. I feel like Craig Reynolds, Jamar Jefferson, isn't he still on the team? I think. I don't even know. Maybe he's not on the team. Those guys, who knows? Whoever the other guy was that we signed, safety, who came off the bus, the other guy, I don't know. There's a ton of them, Godwin, Mbukwe, or whatever. There's a ton of running backs. I feel like all of them should get efforts and touches ahead of Jamal Williams right now. But we all love Swaggy. We're excited to see him in Hard Knocks. He's going to be a fan favorite. He's going to be a Twitter sensation if he isn't already. And I think he gets over 500 yards. This is my first over. I'm taking the over.
Woo! Yeah. All right. I like it, Nick. But I'm right there with you. At first, Julius, I was green. Under, no way. With Swift having our breakout season like he's going to, no way Jamal Williams is gonna, be able to do this without injury baked into it. But Jamal Williams had one game last year above 48% snap percentage. So as long as, he could do what he did last year, and which I know he played, it's weird because week 1, he had a 35% snap share, had 54 yards, a touchdown, and 56 yards received. So it's like he doesn't need a whole lot to really be efficient. Yards per carry, week 1, 6, week 2, 3.5, week 3, 3.5, week 4, 4.7, week 7, 4.7, and a few other 4.0s and higher. So he can do it. It's just, is Dan Campbell gonna, spend a few extra touches making sure that Jamal gets his share, or is he just gonna, roll him on over to Swift because Swift might be able to get half a yard to a yard more, maybe 2 yards more than what Jamal could do. So for me, I'm still sticking to the over. I think he's gonna just sneak into it. By what I'm looking at, he doesn't need a whole, a lot of workload to get his touches. It's like he's only on the field for, handoffs essentially. So I think he does it, but not by a lot.
At the risk of because we have 25 minutes left and a ton of these to go, prolonging this show, I also think that we want DeAndre Swift to get all these touches, but Dan Campbell's not going to do that. He is going to continuously give 35% or more of the work share to Jamal Williams to save DeAndre Swift, not only for DeAndre Swift's career, but at the potential of a late season push for the playoffs and have Swift healthy, in my opinion. So that's just another reason why Jamal sees the field more than maybe we think he should, but I think that's a good excuse for him to see.
Yes, and our fans had a tougher time voting on this. They only picked the over by 53% to 46%, under 53.4, 46.6. But that was the tightest one we've had so far. Next up, DJ Chark, 750 yards. We're going to do a little double action. So speed things up. DJ Chark, 750 yards receiving and 5.5 receiving touchdowns. Over or under? Julius, kick it off for us.
I have this at over because DJ Chark is such a red zone threat. You know, that's what he's not necessarily known for, but he's kind of built for it. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that for that fact alone, he should be one of the top targets for Jared Goff. And I can just see him having a 6 or 7 touchdown year at this point. Over.
What about yards too?
The yards. What was the yards set at?
750. Nothing crazy.
Under, because there's just too many targets to go around. When it comes to receiving yards in this team, I am not betting no money on nothing.
I kind of agree. You know, I'm right there with you. I think Chark's going to be a big, red zone threat. I think he's going to be like a Kenny Galladay Jr., in which we're going to see some nice plays where he's going to high point some balls, but he's going to be around the 600-yard range. But I think over 5.5 touchdowns is definitely doable. It wouldn't shock me if he didn't hit that mark, or we just, saw the other guys break out, because, we do have tons of other playmakers. But if Chark plays, 15, 17 games, I think he definitely hits this mark. Nick?
I'm going over the touchdowns, under the receiving yards. It seems like I'm following suit with everyone. That's what you said as well, Adam, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I'm not going to just say the same thing you guys said, but you all hit all the points right on the head. Great points. 6'4", great big body.
The people voted over and over on both of these by pretty wide margin. They think Chark's easily going to hit this 5.5 receiving touchdown mark, 67.6%. And then also the 750 yards, 67% on the over as well. So should be a good year for DJ Chark, according to the fans. Next up, we have the rookie, Jamal Williams, over 600 receiving yards. And then, Nick, I like this one. Will he play 11.5 games? So, Nick, take it away. You think Jameson, is on the field enough for 600 yards? These kind of go hand in hand as well.
Yeah, they do. I am taking the under on both, unfortunately. I want Jamal Williams to have the over on both. I want him to play more, 12 games plus, but I think he hits PUP, which misses the first 6, leaving 11 games only. And with that, we saw how long it took for Goff to get connected with St. Brown. Just like basically last year with COVID and all that, this year, Jamal Williams is not getting those reps early in training camp and off-season workouts with Goff. I think that's going to hinder his statistics in the latter half of the season when he comes and is actually on the field. He'll be a great decoy. He's fast. He'll get his yards, but I don't think he hits 600. Under for me.
Love it. Not so much on the unders, but love prediction. Julius, what do you got here? James is going to be healthy?
I believe he will be. When it's time to come back, he's going to be healthy. But we don't know when that will be. So you have to go under on any over/under on an injured player that's going into the season injured. You cannot predict his stats.
Not at all. Especially when it happened in January.
Exactly. Not that long ago.
Right.
Our polls here, this is hilarious because it makes no sense. For me, I'm right with you. If Jameson is healthy, comes out, I think he's easily hitting over 600 yards. And obviously, he's going to hit the games played. But for me, it's just too much of a question mark. If I had to put my $100 on it right now, I'd take the under on both. But our fans got a little interesting. They took the over on Jamal Williams receiving yards over of 600, but they took the under at a whopping 68% of Jamal Williams 11.5 games played. So that means that some of our fans think that James Williams is going for 600 yards in 5.5 games. So that would be pretty cool
That would be
if that
great.
happened. But
We'll be having a fantasy.
yeah, that would be a little fantasy stud diamond in the rough.
We'll surge like Amon-Ra last year.
Hey, you never know, honestly. Speaking of Amon-Ra, he's our next man up. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Will he hit the 1,000-yard mark, and will he eclipse 6.5 receiving touchdowns? Our fans sure think so. Both of them were heavy hitting overs. Myself, 1,000 yards, I don't know. This one's a tricky one. I think Amon-Ra is going to have a lot of receptions. I do think he's going to ticky-tack into this. So I'm going to say over. Receiving touchdowns, I'm going to say under. I don't think he hits 6.5. I think they're going to go to Chark, Hockenson, Swift, and Jameson if he gets out there. I think those guys will be, the big touchdown monsters. Amon-Ra, he did have the first game-winning touchdown, and in which, sparked the Lions the last, few games of the season. But all in all, I think he's just going to be the guy that's getting us down to the 5-yard line, inside the 10, in the red zone, just making the play right there. And then I don't think he's going to finally, get it done. I think he's going to leave it to our boy Swift or Hockenson or someone like that to get it done. So I'm doing a little over-under action. I think he's hitting the over 1,000 receiving yards and under of 6.5 receiving touchdowns. Julius, you going over, under?
I think I'm going to go over and over because I'm just very much excited about.
You sound like Nelly and Tim McGraw. Over and over again. We go and over again. Tell me we know that song. Adam, you might be a little too young, but me and Julius know that song.
Oh yeah, big time. Hey, I guess I'm Nelly today because Amon-Ra going over and over again. I expect him to be good. You know what I'm saying? Because last season that was not a mirage. That was not a mirage at the end of last season. Rookie wide receivers just don't mirage the end of their rookie seasons like that, and then come back their second year and it just doesn't happen. So health pending, like I'm always saying, Amon-Ra will go over and over.
I like it. Nick, I know.
I'm following suit with Adam. Over 1,000 receiving yards. I think he eclipses that 900 yards last year, and he only played the second half. I mean, I know he didn't, but it seems like Jared Goff thought he only played the second half. Touchdown 6.5. The thing is, I do want to believe that. But I took the under on Jared Goff in 25.5, and if I'm taking the over on Shark, I got to take the under somewhere. I think I'm going to take the under here with Amon-Ra. Just like Adam said, he's going to be the guy to get us within the red zone, and then we're going to kind of utilize a little bit more of our bigger bodies, and that's how we're going to do that. And so, yeah, over under for me.
I like it, boys. Next up.
Wait, what'd the fans do?
Oh, yes, that's right. They voted an overwhelming over and over of 71% over on Amon-Ra, 1,000 yards receiving, and 83% on Amon-Ra receiving touchdowns. So they're definitely confident that he's going to hit at least 7. Next up, we have the big boy, TJ Hockenson, the boy that's going to have to prove himself. Looking at, coming into his 5th-year deal. Is he going to hit 750 yards and 5.5 total receiving touchdowns? Yeah, this one's interesting because I think this would be his best season. This would be a career year for Hockenson. So my heart tells me yes, man, but my brain's like, I don't know. We've seen this rodeo before with Lions tight ends. So I'm going to go over on the receiving touchdowns, but I think he just finishes with like 650. I think 750 is just a little too much. And I did predict Amon-Ra to go over 1,000 too. So if that happens, then that, Hockenson, his chance will be a little less. So I'm going to go under on the receiving yards, under 750, and over on the receiving touchdowns of 5.5. Julius, what say you?
What was the yard total again, just to be precise?
750.
750. I predicted this man. I'm not predicting him to. I am giving him an ultimatum to have a Pro Bowl season. Y'all remember that in the beginning of the show when we were talking about TJ Hockenson. I'm not going to pay him for 700 yards receiving. I'm not going to want to pay him, even though I'm not paying him. The Ford family is, but that's besides the point. I'm not going to want the Ford family to pay him for 6 touchdowns. So, no, let me take it, like 5 or less touchdowns. So I'm going to go over and over just off the benefit of the doubt that I like TJ Hockenson. I believe in TJ Hockenson a little. I have my doubts about him because, he's a Bob Quinn guy, but I'm hoping I'm wrong about that.
You think, sorry, Nick, but like one Lions tight end in the first round has got a hit from like Ebron to Pettigrew to Hockenson. It's like, come on, Lions, we're due. When are we going to get one like Charlie Sanders? I can't tell you how many times my dad's talked about Charlie Sanders, RIP, my man. But we just need one guy that'll, be a force like that because Charlie was Hall of Famer, legit. So hopefully Hockenson does something like that. Nick?
I don't know if Hockenson saw Charlie Sanders. I did like the way Adam put it. I'm also going to take the under and over. I don't see him hitting 750 yards. I'm hoping that he can hit over 600. That is my goal. But I do think touchdowns get up there. I think 6 touchdowns is a solid year. That'll get him like 8th in fantasy. And that's where I'm going to take it. Over touchdowns, under yards.
I like it. The fans voted 66% on over receiving yards, 750, and 83% over on the 5.5 receiving touchdowns. So
I love our fans, man. I love
pretty
our fans.
confident. So so far, the only 80% votes have been to Amon-Ra and Hockenson. Amon-Ra going over 6.5 receiving touchdowns, and Hockenson over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. So interesting. Here is a interesting one to the defensive side. Another rookie, Aiden Hutchinson, 8.5 sacks, over or under. Nick, I know you're surely expecting the over, but is he gonna do it?
Let's have some fun, and I'm going to take the over with Aiden Hutchinson coming out and having a fantastic big year. I think Aaron Glenn I think it's just hold this defensive line is criminally undervalued right now in the sense of like the world and the NFL media and everyone just thinking about like Michael Brockers in the year he had last year and Romeo not playing last year and Julian not having the chance and this Aleem stepping up that people don't know of and Levi hopefully steps up and this prowess Josh Pascal. Like I think our defense line is gonna be so good and I think Aiden's gonna be at the forefront of it along with the ESPN forefront of it. You know what I mean? Like the JJ Watt, he's gonna get so much hype because he's a homegrown boy out of Michigan, the big sell state, like the big sell college. So I think Aiden does get over 8.5. I really do. I think he's gonna get 9-10 sacks and it's gonna be crazy. And we're gonna just blow our minds. It's gonna be crazy. Over.
That's the Michigan and you talking, Nick. I know it is.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully does that. Hutch, I think he does it too. I think he's gonna get right. I mean, 8 wouldn't shock me, but I'm feeling like 9, maybe 10. I feel like he's gonna be. We saw like Okora, then we saw Charles Harris. Now I think it's gonna be Hutch. Is gonna be the one that's gonna get 9 to 10 right in that mark. He's playing with some other, studs on the line, the Okora brothers, Lee McNeil, Levi, if he takes the next step. So it's going to be, and also Charles Harris too, who was a pretty solid sack master. So Hutch, he's not going to be, doubled heavily. I'm sure there will be a game or two here where, if he's playing well, that they will, double team him, or he will be facing, a stud left tackle. But nonetheless, 8.5 isn't crazy. I think he can do it. We saw rookies from previous years, rookie defensive ends, hit the 9 to 10 mark in the Bosa brothers and Chase Young. So I think Aiden does it. Julius, are you going to make it 3 peas in the pod?
I'm going to make it 3 peas in the pod just because the reason that I have them going like 13-5 or whatever crazy record I got them going is because I believe Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the defensive rookie of the year and going to set the rookie sack record. So, bam, over.
I like it. I like it. So now, boys, if Hutch finishes with the over, and real quick, our fans, they're not believing. We must have a lot of Spartans. That must be what it is. A lot of Spartan fans just holding their vendetta against Hutchinson. He's got to prove himself first. I understand. But 52% voting Hayden Hutchinson to hit the under of 8.5 sacks.
Go green.
Yeah, would kind of be a bummer, but hopefully we can prove all those fans wrong. Nonetheless, Julian and Romeo Cora combined 10.5 sacks. This one's an interesting one because we saw the Okora brothers, both play well kind of separately. When Romeo went down, Julian kind of stepped up, or vice versa. I forget who it was. But nonetheless, I think, this is a tough task because it's like, am I going to say nearly 20 sacks between these three players? Oh, that's tough. I'm going to go no. I think our sack leaders are going to be Charles Harris and Aiden Hutchinson. I think the ends are going to be real fierce and feisty. I'm going to go the under on this. Julius, 10.5 total sacks between the Okora brothers. Think they got it in them?
I am torn on this number because I think Romeo could, go for 8 and Julian could go for 3. So boom, over. But I don't see that. I feel like there's a lot more depth I feel like the same way I feel with receiving yards in the on the offensive side as I feel like with sacks on the defensive line is that there's so much more depth now that the sacks are going to go around a little bit. Aiden Hutchinson is going to eat sacks. I just told y'all that. So I'm going to go under on this amount. I'm going to go under on Aurora Brothers 10.5 and not look back.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Nick, what do you think on the Okora brothers? They doing it? 10.5?
I'm going to say the over.
All right.
I'm also going to speed up my answers. Just straight the over. We have 8 minutes to go with a ton of these questions to go.
I might skip over a couple. Charles Harris, 5.5 sacks. This one was interesting. I think he easily smashed the over on this. He had, I think, 7 or 8 last year, but he looked phenomenal. Adding in Aiden Hutchinson, I easily think he hits the over. Julius, 5.5.
Under.
All right.
I follow suit.
Took a minute.
Going under as well. I got all my sacks being dispersed.
Hey man, the people voted under as well, 51%. So that was.
What did the people vote on the Okora brothers?
Oh, that's right. 63.8% voted the over. So pretty confident in Okora brothers stepping it up. They obviously the fans think they are going to get the sacks between Hutch and Okora brothers and Charles Harris. Also, next couple guys, Josh Pascal and we'll do Aleem McNeil, a couple duo action. Josh Pascal, 2.5 sacks. Is he, do you guys think he's going to be enough on there? And then Aleem McNeil, 4.5 sacks. This one is interesting. I'll just start off right away. I think Pascal, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be on the field enough to have enough opportunities, but maybe in garbage time, when Lions are getting blown out against Green Bay or something, he gets, on the field and sacks, Rodgers when he's, doing something stupid. But I'm going to go under on 2.5 sacks. I know it does seem low, but I think we're going to have other guys stepping up. And other guys, as in Aleem McNeil, 4.5 sacks, I think he can do 5. No problem. He had 3 quarterback hurries last year on 6 games started, 2 sacks last year on 6 games started. The dude was a beast. He's a big bull nose tackle and can absolutely get it done. So Julius, Josh Pascal, 2.5 sacks, and Aleem McNeil, 4.5 sacks.
I'm going to go over for Pascal because I think he is going to play more than we think. And I'm going to go under on Aleem McNeil because I just don't think our nose tackle is going to take sacks away from Aiden Hutchinson and Levi Orzawerki and the Okora brothers and Charles Harris.
Adam, what did you say for McNeil?
I said the over. I think he's going to have 5 sacks. I think he's going to have a nice breakout season. 4.5 is pretty good mark for him. So if he has 5, man, that will be a good draft pick.
I am following suit a lot with Adam this week. Me and Adam are thinking alike with these over-unders. I'm also taking the under for Pascal, even though I do hope he takes the over, and I'm taking the over for Aleem McNeil. I think he's a big breakout player. I think he's going to be the breakout player of the Lions defense.
Ooh, I like it. And then also, I
With the
wouldn't,
fans?
I wouldn't be surprised if real quick, if Aleem, kind of pushed Levi kind of not out of the rotation, but if he just kind of started to eat up some more snaps. So the percentages were 65% over on Josh Pascal, and then a whopping 74% under on Aleem McNeil. Our fans, I guess they just don't know yet. They do not know. Don't blame him. He didn't get on the field enough.
They're following Julius and the fans and me and Adam. That's what
I have nothing against Aleem McNeil. I think he's going to have a great year. I just don't see our nose tackle eating
His mother
sacks
could be
away,
watching this show, bro. Come on.
eating sacks away from the rest of our pass rushers.
The pass
He'll
rushers
call
are going to force the quarterback right into Aleem's hand.
And real quick, speaking of
hope
Aleem
so.
McNeil, you know how we had Marvin Jones as our beautiful singer for quite some time? Well, now we got Aleem McNeil, the hip-hop rap singer, but he's got a pretty good voice. He has some nice bars. Listen to him once or twice. His name is The Dream or Dream. I don't know. Check him out on iTunes. But next up, a couple guys. We have Derek Barnes, 3.5 sacks, and Alex Alonso, 80 tackles. Both of these were voted unders, ironically. So for me, I don't think Barnes is going to hit the over on sacks. 3.5 seems a little rich. And Anzaloni, if he plays enough, I think he can hit the over. So I'm going to go over on 80 tackles. I think maybe 86-ish range sounds about right for him. Nick, start us off first. Anzaloni, over 80 tackles, and Derek Barnes, over or under 3.5 sacks.
Over and over again. We just keep over and over again. I love that song. I'm going to listen to it tonight. Over and over. Derek Barnes over 3.5 sacks. Anzaloni, what you said? I don't even know what you just said, Adam. But Alex Anzaloni over 80 tackles.
All right. Julius, anything different? Anything spicy?
I got Derek Barnes over. It's at 3.5, correct?
Correct.
I got him just around at 4.5. I just feel like he can get there. And as far as who's the next guy?
Alex Anzaloni, 80 tackles.
80 tackles. Under. I don't know. I just. Do you know how many he had last year?
Like 81.
Yeah, it's probably around there.
I'm gonna go under on improved defense.
All right. Fans both voted under. 71% for Derek Barnes, 3.5 sacks, and then it was very close, like 50-50 on Alex Anzaloni, 80 tackles. It was 50.3%. It was the under, so barely taking that. Next up, we'll do the interception boys between Jerry Jacobs and Amani O. Jerry Jacobs, 1.5 interceptions. This is going to be interesting because he is coming off that torn ACL injury and back half of the season. So if he does, get that play time, I think 2 interceptions is easy peasy for him. But if rehab takes a minute, then it could be a little dicey. Amani O, 3.5 interceptions. Get out of here. Forget about it. He's going for at least 5, maybe another 6 again. So Amani O is easily going to crush over that 3.5 receptions. I am going to dub a Jerry Jacobs clause on Jerry Jacobs, 1.5 receptions. If he plays at least 6 games, I think he does it. So if he plays less than 6 games, I do not think he.
No, you get one answer. Over or under?
I see. All right, fine. I'll believe in my boys. Give me the over. Jerry Jacobs. Hope you're listening. Hope you're watching. Getting 2 interceptions. Julius, back me up on it.
That'd be great.
No, I'm going to go under on the Jerry Jacobs interceptions.
Boo.
And the other player, Jeff Okuda, correct?
No, yeah, Amani Aurora.
Now, I got more respect for him. His number is at 5, right?
3.5.
3. Oh, I'm going over on Amani. He's a ball hawk. I've seen him do it since his rookie season. He has it in his eyes. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the league leaders. If I'm all honest, if he brings it all together, I mean, He's very good at tracking the ball. He's just really good at it. And as far as Jerry Jacobs, nothing against Jerry Jacobs. I really, really like him. But outside of Amani Aurarie, who I just talked about, I don't trust anybody when it comes to forcing interceptions or going after the ball, being a ball hawk. I haven't saw it from Tracy Walker in like, I don't know, 2-3 years. Will Harris can't do it. All the other corners on our depth chart, they just got to prove it to me. So until then, I got Jerry Jacobs on the under right there.
I'm following suit with Adam yet again. Over and over again. I do think our defensive line is going to cause major mischief, and Aaron Glenn is going to have our secondary exploding. Jacobs over, Amani over.
Love to hear it. And then finally rounded out, Julius, the man you've been waiting for, Jeff Okuda, over 2.5 receptions or under 2.5 receptions. And then Tracy Walker, the man who's back, 100 tackles. Think he makes the mark or not? Nick, give me what you got real quick, and hopefully it's a double over and over again.
It is not under for the Jeff Okuda picks. I don't know. I just don't think his picks are going to be there. I think he's going to be a great player, good hits, good tackles, effective out there, 17 games. I think he's going to be – I just don't think the picks are going to be there. I think they're going to be spread out a little bit differently. But I will take the over on Tracy Walker getting 100 tackles. I believe he's done that 2 years in a row, led our team in tackles 2 years in a row or 2 out of the last 3 years. Hopefully he doesn't have to make as many tackles as a safety, but it's just a passing game. They're going to pass. The safeties are going to have to make tackles more often than linebackers having to tackle a running back. So give me the over on that one.
I like it. Not so much Jeff Okuda interceptions, because I think he's hitting over too. So Okuda, I think he's going to come back to a nice, good amount of games played, in which enough to give him 3 interceptions. Tracy Walker, 100 tackles. I'm right there with you, Nick. I think he's gonna have a lot of just in play ball hawking, chasing the ball plays. If it's a gain of 6 yards, or if it's a 15-yard stop that could have been a touchdown. So Tracy Walker, he's a guy that he's just got that dog in him, So I think that Tracy Walker can get it done, get that 100 tackles. So that Jeff Okuda, right there with you, Julius, bounce back year. So save the best for last, Julius. Let's see what you got.
Well, as much as I really X-factoring Jeff Okuda into a bounce back year, Julius, and not getting myself too high, under on the interceptions, because I feel the same way I do about Jerry Jacobs. I got to see them intercept the ball before I believe they can do it. I read some kind of crazy stat that the Lions have like 12 less interceptions. They have the least amount of interceptions in the NFL the last 10 years, and the last 5, and the last 3, and the next closest team has like 12 more. So under on Jeff Okuda interceptions, but go Jeff, lock him down anyway. And if I was a betting man, based on my Alex Anzaloni under on his tackle amount, I'm going to go under for Tracy Walker, 100 tackles too, based off an improved Detroit defense that won't have to make a bunch of tackles all game because they can't get off the field.
Adam, what did the fans say on Jacobs, Aurarie, Okuda, and Walker?
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, so Jerry Jacobs and Amani O. The fans voted an overwhelming 67.7% on 1.5 interceptions over for Jerry Jacobs. And then Amani O got 75% on the over. Jeff Okuda got 56% on the over, and Tracy Walker got 63% on the over. So to recap things.
Hold on, I know we're all rushing it off here, but honestly, I had written down too, and I couldn't put it on that thread, and I want to ask you guys about this. So I know we're already over an hour. We're all like, fuck this show. Let's get out of here. Just give me this. Riley Patterson, 54.5. Longest field goal. 54.5 yards. Longest field goal. Over or under?
Under.
I will go under, because
what was his long last year?
Like 49 or 50.
I think he's capable of doing it, but I think his opportunities are going to be vastly limited because Dan Campbell is going to be going for that 4th and 2, 4th and 3, 4th and 1 as much as he can. So
Great point. I went with the over. Last one, Jack Fox, 70.5 yards, longest punt net. 70.5. I do believe he hit like 72 last year. I believe.
Over.
I will say under because I don't think he's going to get that many opportunities to punt this year.
I am going to say over with Julius. Awesome. I just want to get those two in there.
Well, and before we wrap things up, Pete Alonso was eliminated, and Julius, your man, is in the finals right now. Sir Julio Rodriguez. So should have thrown a couple bucks on him. He's plus 750 to win it all. So good call on that. Albert Pujols actually advanced through the first round. He beat Kyle Schwarber.
Miggy would have made it to the championship.
Miggy
I swear to
totally
God.
would have, Nick.
I guarantee it.
I scratch anything
The
I
world
said at
may
the end of the
never
show. Miggy would have cranked out 40 home runs. No problem.
The world will never know, bro. Miggy would have knocked out.
So now we
breaking windshields.
That would have been the greatest Miggy moment.
Dude, it would have been the greatest
home
home
run
run derby moment if it was Miggy versus Pujols in the championship.
That's what they should have just done. That's what they just like.
They should have just done that.
Decided. All right, boys. I've had a great show. We will be back next week for another great episode. If you guys want, check us out on Twitter at Honolulu Blues _. Give some likes, reviews, subscribes, all that good stuff on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Check us out individually. You know what's up at Everyday FFB. Myself, Nick Faber, NFL, and the fifth top for my man Julius. So, boys and girls, we will catch you all next week. Nick, I like the little happy face you're doing here.
Go Lions!
Go Lions!
Baby, go Lions.